The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. This is Sandy Anastasi. I want to welcome you to the August edition of the Psychic Hour with me. We'll be having a wonderful time for the next hour, talking about you, finding out what's going to be happening in your future, and also touching bases with what's going on in the world, and hopefully sharing questions that are going to give lots and lots of good information for everyone on the call. One of the interesting things that happens when I do these psychic hours, my friends, is that you're asking a question that you think is your question, and it's just amazing to me how it never ceases to be that same question is something which is pertinent to almost everybody else on the call. And so even though I won't have a chance to answer the questions from every single one of you who are calling in this evening, I certainly am going to hit quite a few of you, and everyone here is going to get some information that pertains to you if you listen closely, because the guides, my guides and your guides, work together to bring about your answers even when you're not verbalizing them. It's amazing how it just comes out. So keep your ears tuned in, even if it's not your call that's being addressed. Folks, I have a couple of announcements I'd like to make before we get started this evening. The first one, I have a very, very exciting announcement. You're just in time, because this coming Thursday, that's right around the corner, like 2 days from now, or, well, 4 days from now. This is Sunday. This is Thursday we're talking about. At 8 o'clock this coming Thursday, I'm going to be talking about how to manifest your world in a very special webinar. It's inexpensive. My webinars are priced at $25, so everybody who's interested can attend them. I hope to see you there. If you're interested in how do you actually go about doing it, you know, you've been hearing all about the whole concept of manifestation, of positive thinking, of reality creation. Everybody talks about it, but nobody gives you the blueprint that explains how to do it. And that's what I'm going to be doing on Thursday's webinar. And we're actually going to have a little guided meditation that's going to help you along with that as well. And for those of you who cannot get to that webinar, or who want even more personalized instruction on that, my reading special this month is also about how to focus your goals, how to really get down to the core of what it is that you want out of life, and how to shape it, how to manifest it, how to create it, how to make your dreams a reality, and not waiting until the next 10 years to do it, how to make that reality happen now. So 2 ways that you can start to improve your life right now. One is by getting my reading special this month, and the other is by signing up for Thursday night's webinar. Okay, now, in addition to that, everybody always wants to know when the next Psychic Hour is. Write it on your calendar right now. The next one is September 20th. And again, it's 9 to 10 p.m. It's a Sunday night. They're always Sunday nights. The one that is in October is October 18th. Write them on your calendar. And when I talk to you then, I'll catch you up with the ones for the rest of the year. Okay. Another thing you're going to want to put on your calendar, though, for sure, September's webinar, if you're into learning how to do different kinds of rituals that help to really give you that oomph to work on your reality creation, your work in your life, I'm going to be talking about how to create your own success rituals in my webinar in September. All these things, folks, are on my events page on my website, which is www.sandyanastasi.com. So if I'm talking too fast for you, you can go there and find them out. You can also sign up for my newsletter. It's free, so it's a really good thing to sign up for. And all these things that I'm doing, whether they're paid or free events, they're always going to be put in my newsletter, along with lots of great articles. By the way, for those of you who follow my webinar series, I'm doing a real special one just before Halloween in October. I'm going to be talking about psychic vampires. Okay, so do not miss that one. And those of you who think you've got some psychic vampires in your life on active duty, well, please go to YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel, and go to my YouTube channel and hunt it down, because I have psychic protection tips on my YouTube channel. I've been doing it for a few years, so there are a lot of them, and they're all worth listening to. One last announcement that has to do with my stuff, and then we're going to get into your stuff. If you really want to develop your psychic abilities and you want to do it live with me, I am going to be beginning my next psychic development training. This is the entire 6-course training. I'm going to be starting that in Tampa, Florida, next January 2016. And that's going to be, let's see if I can get this on camera. It's actually going to be starting on the 28th through the 31st. Yeah, that's actually showing up pretty well. 28th through the 31st of January in 2016. So I'm hoping that I see a bunch of you there, because it's just absolutely unparalleled. They are 4-day long complete immersion classes, and you're just going to be amazed at what you're able to accomplish for yourself when you study and develop your psychic ability. So onward, tonight's Psychic Hour. Here's how it goes, folks. In the chat room is my assistant, Lisa, and Lisa is going to be calling on you. So if you have a question that you would like to ask of me, and that question can be on anything goes. It can be about your future, the world's future, and I'm going to be channeling my guides in giving your answers, okay? And if nobody's got their hand up, or if she sees a lot of people in the chat room with the same question, because I know some people are shy and you don't like to verbally talk, because if you raise your hand and you get called on, you're going to be verbally talking to me. You're going to hear, everybody's going to hear you talk. If you put your question into the chat room, and there are a lot of questions that are similar, okay, well, Lisa will tell me that question so that everybody will get their answer. So she'll go back and forth between the chat room and the hands that are raised. Now, if you look at where your name is, there is a little hand right next to your name. When that hand goes up, we're going to know you have a question. I'm going to move as fast as I can. I'm going to hit as many of you in this next hour as I can. And remember, my guides are talking to your guides. I'm working with this chart that you see up here. This is a horary chart that really answers everybody's question on the call tonight. You're going to be amazed at how accurate that can work. I'm also working with tarot cards. So information comes in 1,000 different ways when I do this psychic hour, and you're just going to have so much fun with it. Now, here's how you proceed. When you get called on, I would like you to give me your name. First name will be fine. You don't need your whole name unless you choose to. I would like to know where you're from, what state or what country. I would like to know what you're most grateful for in your life this evening. And then I would like to know your sun sign and what your question is. Lisa, who is our first person with our hand up this evening?
Our first person is going to be Carolyn. Carolyn, you're...
Hello, Carolyn. You're unmuted. Carolyn, you're going to have to click on your mic to talk.
Yourself, yes.
There you go. I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello, Carolyn.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Hello? Carolyn?
There you go. I do.
I see you
Now
have
it's
some
gone.
there. I can hear you. Hello?
It's okay. You can move on to the next person. I can't hear you. Go on to the next person.
Okay. Carolyn, type your question into the chat room, and Lisa will read it out for me, okay? Or you can ask it and then click off, and I'll tell everybody, okay? Okay. Lisa, we're going to need to go to the next person.
I have to find my own unmute button. All right, I'm going down to, I may mispronounce this, Sirah, S-I-R-A-H, Sirah, you are unmuted.
Hello, is it Sirah or Sirah? Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Oh my goodness, that is crazy. The button tells me to click, and yet it clicks itself when you click it.
You'll get it. This is your first time, and it's very easy once you've done it a few times. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, thank you.
And how do I pronounce your name?
I like to go by Sarah.
Sarah, I thought so. It's a beautiful name. I love it.
Thank you. My mom wanted it, and my dad just said, "We're from Kansas. I don't name children that."
Sounds like a typical set of parents to me. Sarah, can you tell me, are you still from Kansas?
No, my dad was, and he got as far away from the horses as possible. So he went to California, and I've moved to Las Vegas since.
Wow, you're in a beautiful place. I'm going there on vacation this fall, so I'll wave to you from the plane window.
You gotta try out the pyramid. The pyramid is amazing to feel.
Definitely is. Yep. And what are you most grateful for in your life tonight, Sarah?
Well, right now I am breastfeeding a newborn.
Oh, oh God, I'm getting so many chills. Is this the little boy?
No, this is a little girl. I hope to have a boy again in the future. My first one was a boy, though.
Well, but the first one's not the one this boy. Are you wanting him really soon?
I think I'd like to have him sooner than later because I'm 40 is not that far away,
Okay.
and I usually raise children farther than it would be reaching me. So I should probably get him.
One of the things that, nobody is 100% accurate. I'm the first one to say that, but one of the things that I'm really, really good with is kids, which is interesting. I don't have any children, but they follow me. So the unseen kids I get. And there's definitely a little boy hanging out around you. That's why I was asking, because I thought, boy, no girl, boy, no. And that's why I said, is this the little boy? And when you said no, so what that tells me is that when you had your little girl, there was a little boy who was wanting to come in at the same time. That soul is waiting. And he stepped back and said, okay, you can go first, but I'm next. So don't wait too long. He's there and he's waiting. Okay? And that is a lovely thing to be grateful for. Absolutely lovely. I see a wonderful family around you. And you're a good mom. I want you to know. And there's a gal in spirit. I'm assuming it's either your mom or your grandmother because it's a mother energy. And she's saying, you are a good mom. Do not ever doubt that. You're a good mom. Okay? And it's real loud. So apparently you have this constantly questioning yourself. No, you're doing a great job. And you've done a good job with your first one, too. And she says, no matter what anybody says. So I don't know what's been going on there. Okay. The thing is, you are a good mom.
My grandmother, or it could be my husband's mom, who I never actually met.
No, it's the other one. She says, yep, that's me. Okay, so what is your question this evening? What would you like to know?
Well, like you said, I'm always questioning myself. I always wonder what I was actually placed here for.
And what's your sign?
And I would like to figure out where to go with that feeling.
What is your sun sign?
My sun sign is Aries.
Okay, well, and that's one of the reasons why you have that question. All of us, I should have known that. The fire signs are, you're getting an astrology lesson. The fire signs are Aries and Leo and Sagittarius. It is typical of all the fire signs. That's everybody on this call who's a fire sign. It's typical of the fire signs to have this inner knowingness. I was born for a reason. And to spend a good part of their life looking and searching for that reason. And each one of them, of course, does it in a different way. Now, I also I'm not a fire sign, I'm a Gemini, but I do believe we are all born for reasons. But sometimes those reasons are out in the world, sometimes those reasons are for ourselves, and sometimes it's a combination of both. Most of us, because I can actually see these things when I look at an astrology chart, and usually a person has a complex group of reasons for being born. And as you move through life, and I want you to hear this very loudly, not just you, but everybody else who's a fire sign, and everybody else who thinks they're a fire sign like me, folks, as you move through life, you always do what you're supposed to be doing. You may not even realize it. One thing you learn and do, and then you move on to the next thing and you learn and do it, and then you move on to the next thing and you learn to do it. And haven't you noticed that everything that you've done in your life is like a stepping stone to the next thing that you have to do? It's absolutely amazing how life works. So there's nothing that you're doing that's not in some way leading up to you becoming who you're supposed to be. Just never doubt that, okay? And since you're in Aries, okay, in my horary chart, you'll see that Aries, I'm going to point with the cursor so you can see it. Aries is on this second house. You see the two here? Mm-hmm. And in that second house, we have the planet Uranus, and it's in the sign Aries. It's been there since 2010. So your life has been kind of a merry-go-round roller coaster ride, kind of like a pretzel with no beginning and no end and constantly shifting around since about 2010. And you keep saying, wow, are things ever going to settle down? It's about 2 years until they settle down. Okay? So you've got a little bit of craziness to go on for about another 2 years. And again, that's all of the Aries, the Cancers, the Capricorns, and the Libras on tonight's call. You've all been on that same roller coaster ride since 2010. The nice thing about 2015 is that all of you have gotten a lot of direction if you're listening. And how is your direction showing to you? It's coming back to you through the reflection of life. What your life is doing is showing you the path you're supposed to be on. So pay attention. What's going on outside of you? Because you're getting that reflection. And right now you're at a point, and you're seeing this very, very much, Sarah, in your life. You're at a point where you have to make choices and decisions. So, for example, in your life, a big decision. If I want this third child, it's going to have to happen really soon. Do I want 2 kids right on top of each other? Remember what I said? These kids almost came in as twins. If you could have had twins, they would have been twins. So if you choose to have this child, bam, you could be pregnant tomorrow. Okay? It could happen that fast. So it's up to you. That's one really big decision, isn't it?
We've already got the 3, so
okay.
A little bit for the 4th.
Yeah, okay. Well, so will this be 2 girls and 2 boys? No. What's the balance? They're saying no, not 2.
The firstborn was a boy, then it's been 2 girls, and they were both their baby brother.
Okay, so right now you're out of balance. The last one would be the boy, too. There's the balance. Now, and I don't know why they keep saying 3, 3, 3, unless maybe that's because it's either you or your husband who's saying, we really wanted to stop at 3, you see? And that's a big question. And I know that for you it's particularly hard because the little boy on the other side is pushing to be born. He wants to be in. Now, I'm going to share a little bit of my own philosophy with you. Obviously, you can tell from the way I'm talking that I don't just talk to the people after they're dead. You know, they like, your grandmother who's giving information. I also talk to them before they're born. Okay? So the soul is eternal, okay? It just cycles. So I do know that if you choose to not have this little boy, he will probably be born somewhere close to you, to a sister or a cousin, but he will come in and you'll recognize him. You always do, okay? So don't feel like it's oh my God, I have to do this for the kid. Do it if you choose to, okay? How's that? You have any last question, or did we get that question largely answered?
Well, I know I have, to be perfectly honest, I have a sister wife, so I'm okay with her having a kid.
That's fine, and that could certainly be. That certainly could be that's the way it happens, okay? So good luck, okay? All the best. And thank you so much for calling in this evening. Folks, I want to tell everybody, as I move on to my next caller here, my next question, that if you miss something I said and you're like, okay, what did she really say there? And because I know I'm an ex-New Yorker, present Floridian, but I still talk with that New York speed. So you can find a recording of this session after we're done. It'll be posted to YouTube, and Lisa will also be sending everyone a link directly to it to make it easy to find. So you'll be able to replay this. Okay, and who's next, Lisa?
Okay, our next lucky person is going to be Gina. Gina, you are unmuted.
Oh, great. Hi, Sandy. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you this evening?
Oh, I'm awesome. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome.
So I am most grateful. I also have a newborn. She's 6 months, so I'm really, really grateful for her, and I'm very grateful for my husband and everything that we've achieved together. I think, I'm very grateful for the life I have. And for the opportunity to stay at home for a little while, a little longer than what I thought I would. Yeah.
What's your sign, Gina?
I am a Scorpio, so I was born October 24th. Yes.
Okay, now watch me, because this is interesting. They're telling me, your guides, that you are very interested in astrology. So you're going to follow this. Yeah, I know. So here, look over here. You are, being a Scorpio, your planets in Scorpio are going to fall between the 8th house, because 7 degrees of Scorpio is on that cusp of the 9th, and the 9th house. And Saturn, you see that Saturn there? It's been retrograde in Scorpio since last April. Wow, what a bummer. It's been really a rough last few months.
Yeah, it's true.
And the beauty of it is that Saturn just went retrograde about a week and a half ago. Pardon me, direct, not retrograde, direct about a week and a half ago. And so things are getting a little lighter. And by September 16th, Saturn's going to have left Scorpio for 29 more years. You won't see it there. And it's going to move into Sagittarius. It's going to zip right across this midheaven part of the chart. So something in your life or your husband's life is getting ready to mushroom. It's getting ready, something you've really been putting a lot of time and effort and work into, like if you were building your own business or settling into a new home. But something that you've been putting all this work into is getting ready to explode to where you can actually start to feel really proud of it. Okay? And where it's going to start to give back to you instead of just being work. Okay? That's what this chart is saying. But boy, oh boy, the last maybe 4 years of your life, it's been work. So congratulations on the family, but I know you've been really working.
Yes, it's actually very true. I was working on my master's, and I completed my master's about a year ago. So it has been a lot. I was working full time and going to school full time. So you're completely right.
And it's nice that you're able to be the stay-at-home mom, but this chart says that you're probably not going to be the stay-at-home mom.
My question for you. That was my question for you. I was going to ask you, actually. I'm applying for new jobs, and I was going to ask you what if you see anything coming soon.
Oh yeah, it's very soon. before the new year.
Oh wow.
Really, the question is going to be, do you want to or not? Because I could see you doing numerous things. I could see you starting a home-based business. You would be actually a dynamo working on the web. You're really good with the computer and stuff. But you also really enjoy people, and you would enjoy taking part of that time to be able to get back into the working world and work on what your degree was for. So it's hard for me to see exactly which thing you're going to do. I see choices around you. But I think before the end of the year, you're going to have made your mind up what you want to do. And by the time we get to the end of January, I think you're going to be, I'm hearing part-time. I think you're going to step back into the job pool part-time first. Okay?
Yes.
And then from there, it'll gradually build. Good luck to you. This sounds wonderful.
Thank you so much. That's exactly what I needed to hear.
And congratulations on the new baby, all of you. I feel like I'm part of this birthing experience. It's wow. And look at this.
It's like living childhood again.
It is. And in astrology, Leo is the sign of the child. And tonight we have a sun in Leo. Look at that. See that circle with the dot in it? That's the symbol for the sun. And there it is in the sign of the child. It's so perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
You're welcome. And Lisa, who is next?
Alrighty, our next person, if I can find her, is going to be Lauren. Or Lauren. Lauren, you're unmuted.
Lauren, can you hear me?
Self-muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great, Lauren. It's a pleasure to speak with you. Lauren, where are you?
You too. I'm from Florida.
Oh, wow, I'm actually a Floridian by transport, okay? I've been here about 30 years. So how about you? Are you a native? There are so few of them, or are you also a transport?
No, I'm a transport.
Oh, well, we're Floridians by our heart, right?
Right.
It's a great place to be. And
Yeah.
what are you most grateful for in your life right now?
Right now it'd have to be my family, especially my mom. She's been here a lot lately and I've really needed her, so I'm really happy that she's with me right now.
Does your mom have very dark hair like black?
It's dark brown.
Okay, so I might see it as black then. Okay, and did she have either a sister or an aunt that was just really, that she was really close to, or that maybe looked a lot like her? That's a common, and that when that person is passed?
Yes.
Okay, because that's your guide. See, I don't get the random dead person in my readings. I don't invite them in. I do, however, get your guides. That's your guide. Okay, so you can tell your mom she's not very far away. Okay? And
Thank you.
you're welcome. And can you tell me what your question is for this evening?
Your sign.
Oh, I'm a Pisces for my sign, by the way.
Yeah, okay. And so here you are over here in the first house of the chart. That's where you are with Neptune, part of fortune, Chiron, and South Node all in that first house where Pisces is. That's kind of a lot of stuff going on, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what's your question?
Well, I've kind of felt like I've hit a rough patch in my life right now. I'm having a lot of stress and friend problems and relationship problems, and I kind of want to know if it's going to get better.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh.
You're just going to absolutely hate me for this, but, you know, somebody's got to tell you, okay?
Right.
You're the nice person.
Thank
Got it?
you.
You are really, really the sweetheart. You're the person who willingly takes on everybody else's burdens and everybody else's problems. Okay?
Yep. Sounds like me.
Look at the chart. You don't have to be an astrologer for this. You're not an astrologer type, but you are very visual. I want you to see this. Here's the first house where Pisces is. See my little cursor? Straight
Right.
across the chart. This is like a seesaw. Look at all those planets in the house of relationship. All those friends, all those lovers, all those family members. There's you. There's Neptune, that hides yourself. You don't even get to know who you are. They're busy taking the piece of cake out of your mouth before you even got the bit on the fork, for God's sake. Okay? This is the story of your life. This has been going on for years and years and years and years. And every single time that you've struggled for survival by saying, but you know, I'm here, somebody goes stomp and says, you're being selfish. Okay?
Yep.
So would you please do me a favor? And the next time somebody in your world says, you're being selfish, say, really? Oh, thank you so much. I've been working on that. Okay. Will you do that?
I will.
Because that's what your problem with relationships is. You see, you're giving so much away to so many people that actually all these other people are having a battle with each other over the crumbs that are left on the plate of you. You get that?
Right.
Yeah. And until you learn to say no, and until you learn to take care of yourself first and them second, those problems can't get resolved.
Okay.
That makes sense to you?
It definitely does.
Okay.
Okay.
Incidentally, just to point this out to you, you have been trained this way since birth. And it's a very good likelihood, looking at your chart, or not your chart, but the Horary chart here, for all the Pisces on the call, folks, listen to this. The great likelihood is that this is a family pattern that's been going on for generations. And that all of the women in the family who gave their lives for all of their friends and relatives and men and sacrificed themselves and got trampled into the dirt were sainted by the survivors and said, that was a wonderful woman. Yeah. So you've been trained into this, but it's not serving you anymore. And it's not really helping the people you love most either.
Okay.
Okay? Did that help a little?
It did, yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for allowing me to be so blunt. Not everybody does, or at least maybe sometimes I am anyway, but not everybody is happy about it. Okay.
Well, I got to get the answers from someone, so thank you.
You're very welcome. You have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the summer.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye. And Lisa, who is next on our call?
Well, I'm going to go down to her. Lisa. Lisa, you are unmuted.
Okay, my question is about my brother.
Oops, Lisa, I'm getting a lot of background feedback. So either you've got to move away from the little boy, the kid, or
The
you've
little
got to
girl, sorry.
talk loud.
Okay. I'm trying to move away from there. She was out of the room before.
Who are you? Are you a Pisces?
Here. There you go. My question is about my brother.
Okay.
I lost my brother recently.
Yeah, I know. And you want to know if he's there? Not yet.
Oh, no, I know he's here.
No, but do him the service of letting him. Obviously, you have to do what you feel is best, okay? But my guides are telling me is that he needs some time on the other side right now. I'm hearing the words, he's in a dark place. I don't want you to misunderstand that because of all the crazy TV shows who say somebody's in this dark. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that he's got a lot of stuff that he's working through, and he just needs to be on his own for a while without being grabbed at by psychics or mediums. Or when you do think about him, send him love. Tell him how much you care about him and you're so grateful that he's at peace now. Send him the good stuff, okay? Don't cry and say, "Oh, why'd you go?" Okay, send him the, I know things are great. We're all good here. We love you wherever you are. We love you. And that will actually, people on the other side hear you. And that will actually help him to get through or get past that dark period he's in a little bit faster, okay? I think he's just got a lot of regrets and he's working through stuff, but he was a very, I don't want to use the word introverted because he wasn't introverted, but he didn't share himself either. You know what I'm talking about? So the things that were so important to him never got really said, and that's what he's working through. And just, he is the personality in death that he was in life, so he's still going to work through those issues. Okay, so just give him space, just like you did when he was alive. Okay. Now, did you have a particular question about him? Maybe I can answer for you.
Yeah. There's been some questions surrounding what actually happened to him.
So you want to know if he committed suicide or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The answer is he didn't, but he did. And that's
With an accident.
Yeah. And doesn't that exactly answer it? So what he did is he set himself up to die. But did he actually do it himself? Did he make it happen directly? No, but he set himself up to die. He was ready to go. And
Right.
we're getting into some odd conversations here, which is I try to keep the psychic hour nice and light, but it's here. So I'm going to say it. I do not fault or find fault in somebody who committed suicide or decided they wanted to die. I step back and I say, well, why'd you bother? Because you're never going to recycle and come back. So foolish. And it certainly is never a good idea to terminate a life or your own life or anybody else's for emotional reasons, because emotions are transient. Okay, oh my God, somebody deserted me, I'm going to kill myself. That's always a foolish reason to kill yourself because life changes, it flips, it goes on. The thing is, if he came here to this life, he came here with a purpose, for a reason. It's a good idea to stick it out and finish that reason. Nevertheless, I do not force him into making the choice to leave, because I do believe that everyone, living or dead, is supposed to move through this universe by their own choice. Does that make sense?
Kinda. You cut it out the whole time.
Well, you're going to get the replay. Okay. At any rate, I think that he's going to be perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, I think once he works through this, again, I just see it as a darkness because he had that dark, he was very, very moody. He had that dark side of his personality, that moody side. Once he works through that moodiness and gets
Then
to
he'll
the
become one of my guides.
you're going to feel this lightness from him, this happy brother again. And you will feel it because you're very psychic and he will be around you. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
And the other question I had was about moving away.
I mean, away from your present residence.
Yeah.
I see you moving away. Okay? And I think that you're going to be a lot happier when you do move away. This has been a rough time for you. And
Oh, yeah.
it's not like the time and the place are necessarily attached to each other, although they happened that way. But you've made the association, and you're going to feel a lot happier with yourself and able to move forward in your own life when you've moved to the place that you're thinking of moving, which incidentally is a very good thing to do. It's a good place. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling in tonight. Lisa, who is next on our list?
Okay, the next lucky person is Jose. If I'm pronouncing that correct. Jose, you have to unmute yourself.
Hello, Jose? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Ah,
And it's Josie.
so it's not Jose, it's Josie. Correct?
It's Josie, yeah, that's right.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Josie, where are you from?
I'm actually from Sudbury, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, wow, a Canadian. And not only that, but you come from pretty far north up there. I'm glad you're getting a nice summer. And what's your sun sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay, so big changes out there in the world for you going on right now. Nice steps forward in career, which is good. And and friends bringing you opportunities. This is good too. Now, what are you most grateful for right now?
Oh, I would have to say my son, my daughter, and my husband.
Well, wonderful. I'm grateful that you have a lovely family and that they're there for you and with you. And what's your question this evening?
Well, I have a few questions, but I'll pick one. But
I appreciate that. Thank you.
my big question, I guess, would be that I just had a miscarriage last month, and so my question is, we were talking about trying again probably in the new year, and I have actually a very rare blood type, and it gets very complicated and is a high risk pregnancy, and they end up having to send me to Ottawa and things like that. But just wanted some reassurance that it was going to be okay and everything was going to look right about it.
Yeah, you have the whole picture. Okay, you really don't need any input from me. Your husband is concerned. He's not really sure that he wants to do this. Okay, and he's concerned with you, and he's concerned with the fact that you lost the last one. Reassure him that you certainly can carry a baby to term. It's going to work. Yeah, there are a few more issues for you than there are for the average person, and there are going to be some ups and downs. I don't know why I'm getting that you get headaches with this. And, when you get that headache or that feeling of the pressure going up the back and the side of the neck, that's your signal that you need to have the doctor look at you quickly, okay? And I don't know anything at all about pregnancy, so that's just coming in, okay? But I do see a very healthy kid, and I wish I could tell you what sex the kid's going to be. I can't. But what I can tell you, so I don't think the baby's really made its mind up. So you're not pregnant yet. It's going to be whatever you and your husband create there. But I can tell you that this kid is going to be a very deep, deep thinker, good with their hands, very creative and artistic, and somebody who sees more than they say. Somebody who's just very alert and aware. So yeah, okay. You're going to have that baby if you choose to. Okay.
Okay.
And good luck.
Thank you.
I hope next time I talk to you, Well, maybe not next, maybe even next time. I hope you're pregnant. I'm getting like within 2 months. Within 2 months. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Great.
And Lisa, who is next on our list?
Alrighty, I'm going to go down to Jacqueline.
Hello.
Hi there, Jacqueline.
I am Pisces, and I'm in Florida, and I guess right now one of the things I'm most grateful for is my health. My question is about my books. I'm interested in knowing about efforts I should undertake for marketing and sales and my success and outcomes.
Okay. Again, I'm going to go, you heard that sigh, because I'm going to have to tell you some things you're not wanting to hear. They're telling me that the marketing techniques that you have been using are not being successful. Okay? Now, I don't know if this means that you've been purchasing marketing from your publisher, or that your publisher said they were going to do something that they're not, or whatever, but what you've been doing has not been successful. What they're telling me is that two things. Number one is that you need to change your thinking in how the marketing has to happen. Your thought processes need to change, because the market and the way to get it out there has totally shifted in today's world. And that's a hard shift for you to make, because apparently you're a little dogmatic. You're a little bit stuck in the old way of doing things here. They're telling me that once you grasp the shift, it's going to take off, and it will be monetarily successful. But you've got to grasp that shift. Now, let me just share with you, and that's what my guides are saying. This is now Sandy talking. I'm going to suggest that you study, oh God, what's his name? Jeff. Lisa, do you know that fellow who I'm going to a seminar with in October? Jeff, what's his name? Jeff something. Product launches he does.
I want to say Walker, but I'm not sure that's
correct.
Yes,
I think it's Walker. Okay. He's got a very big name in marketing, and he does something called product launches. And among the different products he tells you how to launch are books. And his information is very, very good, and it's not traditional at all. With the advent of the internet and self-publishing, the whole marketing field has gone totally kaflooey, especially as far as book publishing is concerned. It's almost like nobody knows what's going to work next. But this guy's definitely got it, and he's making it happen. So he might be one good place to start. You're going to need to look at self-marketing. And whereas people used to go around the country and sit and sign books, nobody goes to those book signings anymore. So it's becoming more difficult for people to figure out the process. But there are some people out there who have done that. Okay, is this helping a little bit? I hope.
I wrote down Jeff's name. I'm certainly going to look at that. I'm that Pisces, so I like the other Pisces you spoke to earlier. I've got stuff happening in all categories. This is something, I have a new thing coming up with the books, a new book deal that's supposedly going to be fantastic, but I still have these 3 existing children's books out there that are sitting, and I kind of want to give them a push out the nest.
The new book deal is going to be fabulous. It is good. And I'm not going to ask you who it's with or anything like that, because I know all that information will be confidential. But the 3 existing books, if you can somehow piggyback them, you might have to fight to get them to trail behind this book. To bring them along with you to market them. That may help. The other thing I would suggest is looking. Well, I was even thinking in self-publishing, CreateSpace on Amazon, but I'm not getting positives about that either. What I'm getting is that you've really got to think out of the box with these. It may be that since they are children's books, that you might need to go to conferences for educators and bring your books and just give them out. It's going to be really totally different. You're going to have to think completely out of the box to get these things to work, because the traditional marketing is just not working for you on them. Okay?
And when you were talking about the other book deal, do you have a time frame for that coming together?
Nope. I can tell you that there's a man and a woman, don't you love it, that you're involved with there, and they have different points of view on the book and everything having to do with it. Okay? And until they get there, and it's a political game. And now this is not the first time that you've been stuck in the middle of that political game, and until this political game gets resolved, your book gets to be stalled. And when I ask, is there anything you can do about that? The answer is yes. And that has to do with your going back to something in the agreement you started out with, and poking them with it and saying, this is what I was promised, this is what I was promised, this is what I was promised. Okay?
Sandy, I love you. You just nailed it. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Good luck with it. I know it's a challenge, but it's also well worth it when you're done. So hang in there. Keep prodding them. Thank you. Bye-bye. And Lisa, who is next?
Okay, the next person is going to be Bonnie. Bonnie, you're unmuted.
Hello, Bonnie.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you?
Great. Okay. I'm excited. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for taking my call so much. I'm a Pisces. My name is Bonnie. I'm from Wildwood, Georgia. And I'd just like to know what my guides say about my learning more about my psychic ability. I've retired from teaching after many years, and just pretty interested in everything I've seen online and been following you and some others. So I'd like to know what they think.
Bonnie, this is interesting. First off, your guides aren't showing me themselves so much as they're showing me techniques for you. Do you live in the woods or near the woods?
Very in the woods.
Okay, because they're showing me all the trees around you. They're showing me that you are a tree person. And
oh, yeah, very outdoors, yes.
And as soon as, I'm focusing on your question as you're talking, and they're showing you carving, it's like you're carving your name into, first you're taking the bark off a tree, you're carving your name, then you're carving a shape into the tree. And what's coming to me is that relative to the psychic world, you truly are the uncarved block. You're the person who comes to this with openness, with a lot of past life experience, but no present life experience. And so it is very important that you study with the right people, that you pick up the right books, now that you really get yourself on track and you do this, I want to say, in the right way, so that you have the right values, the right foundation, the right understanding. And honestly, I think that you will be able to take your psychic ability, your psychic development, wherever you choose to. It's the uncarved block. It's your experimenting and dabbling and learning and gradually focusing and saying, this is what I'm going to do. Okay.
Well, that's really what I've really felt like I have time now to focus on that, and I've just tried to learn a few things here and there, but I need, some instruction. And I heard you say about your class in Tampa. I would certainly like to look into that.
Yeah, on that class, please do. And that class, it's a matter of fact, I don't even know if it's on my website yet. I just asked Lisa to make up the postcards because I'm starting to send them out to my clients. But it should go on the website, and our marketing for it should happen pretty soon. And I'm limited in the number of people that I can take.
Okay.
I do not, this is important, folks. I do not, I don't allow my classes to get larger than a certain number of people. And a lot of times that's intuitive. because then I can't reach them all properly, okay? Most of the classes I teach in Tampa only have 25, maybe 30 people max in them. So it's pretty, we really get to know each other very intimately, okay?
Right. That sounds great.
Okay, but because they're small classes, you've got to get in there and get enrolled early. So if it's something that you can get on your schedule, then do it. And let me just share this, since the question was asked. It will be all 6 levels. Now, you don't have to take all 6 levels, but of course I always hope my students will. The first class, it's 1 and 2 together, and it's a 4-day immersion. So you go to Tampa, and for 4 days you're immersed in the psychic world, period. And I mean, you're staying in a hotel with all the other people taking the class. It's an immersion.
Oh, great. That sounds great.
It's fabulous. It is truly fabulous. And then in March we have levels 3 and 4. And in June, we have levels 5 and 6. So there are 3 levels, and each one of those levels is a 4-day immersion. Now, I'm also teaching online right now. I'm about halfway through level 2 of Psychic Development level 2. So if you wanted to join in the middle, you could join in with the online group as well. And it works the same way, only we meet weekly, and you study on MP4. It's a video downloadable, and then we come back and we talk about it each week. And so there are 2 ways you can actually study with me.
Well, I like to do it in person because I think I would get more out of it if I'm there in person. So I want to try that. And then your other seminars, do you have them later on for the other levels?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. That sounds great.
Yep.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yep. Quick question.
What do my guides think I would be successful at this?
Yes, they do. What your guides have showed me is that the reason you're so please don't take offense. I don't really know what your religious foundation or background is, but one of the reasons you're so comfortable living in the woods is because you spent many, many lifetimes as a wise woman. Back in the, wise women in the Middle Ages evolved into today's Wiccan people, i.e. Wiccan equals witchcraft. And I don't mean the witchcraft with the people flying on the balloon.
I was going to say, I hope it's a good Wiccan.
No, I mean the Wiccan people in the Middle Ages was the wise woman in the village who mixed up the herbs and took care of people's hurts. And
that's incredible.
Knew to put the salve on the windowsill under the full moon. That was how Wiccans originally evolved. And you have that history. Okay, so all the things that we'll be doing in class, you've already done. You've done them in a different world, in a different time, but they're very close to the surface. And you've always been attracted to it because you feel the natural world all around you all the time.
Okay, that answers my questions. Boy, you're right on it. Thank you.
Hey, good luck with everything, and I hope to see you in January.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And Lisa, I think if I move fast, I've probably got room for 2 more people.
Alrighty, I'm going to go down here to Juliet. You are unmuted. You are unmuted.
Hi, Sandy. This is Juliet. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm from Sacramento, California. I'm a Capricorn. So I'm grateful that I was able to create this peaceful, wonderful life and home setting for myself. And I was wondering if you can tell me you see any new job opportunities for me in the near future.
You are definitely a Capricorn. Oh, but tell me about my job opportunity. Can you mute your mic, please? Getting a lot of mic, please.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah. Are you muted now? Yeah, there you go. Are you muted now? Yeah, there you go. Lisa, can you mute her? Lisa, mute her? Okay, that worked. Yep. I was getting feedback, and I know when that feedback happens, it comes out through my speaker, so everybody is hearing double talk, not just me. As far as the new job is concerned, you have got very, very good communication skills. And I don't know if that's bilingual, I hear an accent in your voice, or if that is just that you're such a wonderful communicator that you do really well in an upfront position. I would suggest that you look anywhere where you could do either selling or marketing, or where you would be at the front desk type of a situation. Okay. And as far as the job, there's a woman, I'm assuming you're working at present, there's a woman where you're working who is unpleasant. She keeps secrets and she talks behind people's backs. This is not you. Okay. You have questioned, is there something I'm doing wrong? There isn't. It's not you. It is her. And if you do change to a different job position, you'll be happier because she won't be there. Okay. Did that make sense to you? And Lisa, unmute her so she can talk again.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You nailed it, Sandy. So, yeah, she's one of the reasons I've been with the same company for the last 15 years or so. I feel like it's time to move on. So, but I'm not sure. I just want to see when the new job opportunity is going to be available.
It's been available.
You're right. You're right.
So just, get off your stump and go for it.
Yes. Yeah, I got a call. There's a wonderful job that it's been offered to me. It's just going to take some time. I'm just being impatient. I just want to see when it's going to happen.
You'll get it. I get a 6. That could be 6 months, 6 weeks, June. It's coming.
Okay. Alrighty. You are wonderful, Sandy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Lisa, who is going to be our last caller this evening?
Whoever pays me the most money. I'm going to go down to, if I can find her, where did she go? Okay, well, the person I was about to pick is gone. So let me see who's next on the list. I'm looking for Rosa. There it is. Rosa, you are unmuted.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sandy.
Hello.
Oh, thank you so much for taking the call. I'm a Scorpio, and I'm calling from New York. I would like to know if there is anything that a beloved departed one or one of my spirit guides would like to communicate to me through you, Sandy.
Okay, well, that's what I do. Okay, what direction do you want that question? I talk with your guides. Okay, your guides and mine talk. They could say 1,001 things that wouldn't even make sense. What's the area of your life you're most interested in knowing something about?
Anything having to do with my continuing to deepen my expression of my spiritual essence, inwardly and outwardly in my human life through my precious human self.
Okay, well, what they're saying is that it's all up to you. Don't you love it? You've been waiting. It's like you've been waiting, number one, for something to change in your life so that you can be lifted to the next level of what you want. And you're waiting to be free. I don't know if you're aware of that. You're waiting to be free. And you're
free from what?
Well, this is the thing. You're feeling that you can do all the things you need to do if you could only be free. You could get where you want to go with your spiritual development if you could only be free. But they're free from what? And this is what depends on your decisions. Okay? My guides are saying to me that you're a person who creates conflicts in your life because your spiritual desires take you in one direction, but your earthly life takes you in a more traditional direction. And you're not doing the two together. I don't know if I'm making sense. Some people can make those two things happen together. You're seeing your earthly world as resisting your spiritual development. Okay? You've got to get them going together. And that is all. It's not about other people. It's not about anything outside of yourself. It's only about you and your decisions and how you approach life and your own inner self saying, this is where I'm going to be in this moment. Does that make sense to you?
I understand what you're saying completely. I'm just wondering what in the earthly experience can be creating the conflict, because
Mostly it's your primary relationship, but it's also the people that you pick as your relationship partners. What is your sun sign, hon?
Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah, you said Scorpio. Because what I'm feeling is that very much like the Pisceans we were talking to earlier, that's why I was double checking it, is that your training, your traditional background is to always put the concerns and the well-being of all of those people around you before your own, which is really a wonderful thing to do unless they want to take your meditation time, okay? Or they don't want you to go to the yoga retreat, or, you see? So what happens is that with each decision that you make, and it's not a whole big thing that happens at once, it's a series of little decisions. But with each little tiny decision that you make, each time you step away from what your soul and your spirit wants, you're stepping
because I'm pleasing others, because I'm doing for others, I am neglecting myself.
Exactly.
That definitely has been a pattern in my life. That's very true, Sandy. And you feel that I'm still doing it, huh?
Yeah, you are. Okay. And this is, we've had a lot of people on the call this evening that have had that same issue. And heck, it's wonderful to be a nice person. And it's wonderful to be gracious and generous with yourself for other people. But it is not wonderful when that generosity of self interferes with your own life path and your own journey. So
you're absolutely right.
In your mind, if you can understand, if you have a goal and you're clear on what that spiritual goal is and you're following, a lot of people think setting a goal is to set the goal and just charge at it. And that's not the way a spiritual search works. You set the goal and then you follow your heart, which is what's going to lead you towards that goal. I don't mean your emotion, I mean your heart. And if your inner self says, I need to be here, or I need to study this, or I need quiet time for myself today, you need to be able to listen to that. And that will not happen if you're allowing the other people in your life to constantly saying, I need.
Yes, Sandy. Yes, okay. I understand. Sandy, do you happen to receive any message from any of my beloved departed ones, Sandy, at all?
The only people that I always kiddingly say I don't connect with the random dead person. I know that sounds terrible. I only invite people in if they're your guide, okay? So if somebody is if they're your loved one who's passed, who's also your guide, they'll be here. Otherwise, they won't, unless your guide brings them in for some reason. You do have an elderly woman who was connected to you when you were young. And it's funny, she's showing me apron strings, and I see that as you were connected to her by the apron strings. She probably either took care of you, or else she was somebody you just hung around a lot. And she is your guide. She has a grandmother energy. But I'm not sure that she is your grandmother. She could have been a caretaker.
I see.
Okay? And
okay,
Sandy. Here with you all the time. I also see a lot of blue around her. So I don't know if that means she wore a lot of blue, or blue eyes, or just blue in the room around her, but I see a lot of blue associated with her. And she was a very spiritual, very, very spiritual in a religious sense, spiritual woman.
I see.
Okay? That might help.
Okay, Sandy.
Okay?
Yes.
Thank you so much for your question, because again, I think when people like you come on and ask questions such as yours, it affects everyone who's on the call, because we all have these issues, and we all question where to draw the line between what's good for us and what we know is good for us, and what we want to do for the people that we love and care about most. And believe me, someone like me cannot tell you where that line is. The only thing that can tell you where that line is your own inner self, your own heart,
yes,
your inner guidance. Okay?
Yes.
Be true to yourself are the words I would leave you with. Okay?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. And my friends, just as we finish up for this evening, I want to remind you that the next Psychic Hour is going to be on September 20th from 9 to 10 p.m. I hope to see you all back then. Everyone who attended or who signed up is going to get a link to the recording for this evening. So, if you missed something or if you want to re-listen to a certain part that you think pertains to you, you're going to get a chance to do that. Don't forget, my webinar this Thursday is on how to manifest your world, how to make it happen. What are the tools that you need to be able to create the life you want? I'm going to talk about that with you Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hope to see you there. Much love to everybody. See you back next month. Bye-bye.